Hey guys, AI art is terrible because the hands are really bad, am I right?
Much later.
Hey guys, AI art is still bad because it can't quite nail the shading and hands are still weird, right?
Much later.
Hey guys, AI art is still bad because, it's perfect and imperfections are good, am I right? Hi everyone, my name is Whisp and I'm the illustrator of a webcomic called Tales of Grandeur. I'm also someone who likes to think of himself as somewhat of a philosopher. I wanted to make it clear that I've never used AI art myself and just preface the video with all these statements just to make it clear that I am not an AI bro, just a traditional artist. But I want to let you know that I find most current arguments against AI art and their artists to be baseless and unwise.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now, before you go to the comments calling me an art traitor, let me explain something. If the mainstream arguments against AI art and their artists continue to be that the art looks bad and you aren't even working for it, or even AI art is stealing our jobs, guess what? You're gonna be steamrolled by people who are ignorant on the topic, by people who are antagonistic to you, and people who simply don't care. I want to talk about why these arguments are poo-poo.
Doo-doo, feces.
And propose some new arguments against AI, focusing specifically at the AI artists. I also want to talk about what I see the most likely future of traditional artists in this brand new world will be. I've even set up this video essay like a sandwich argument, so grab chips and a drink and then you can enjoy it like a combo meal. I find that people who clown on AI art by calling it ugly or having no style to be in some degree of denial. Oh, did you know that AI art is ugly?
Shut up!
I don't like this argument because I find it to be way too subjective. Now, I want to make it clear that I don't prefer AI art myself. However, there's probably going to be a day where it doesn't look as bad as it currently does. So, this argument isn't going to hold up in the future. The next argument people make that really grinds my gears is that AI artists don't put work into it. While I agree with this statement on a fundamental level, it falls on deaf ears. Guess what? Most people don't care that it doesn't take them forever to make an image because they get the image they want immediately. Furthermore, if you're starting a flame war with your average Joe, then why on earth would they want to support your argument? And if we're talking about the effort put into a piece of art, can we possibly know how much effort someone put into a piece? I know from my athletic prowess that effort doesn't correlate with success. Specifically, with art, is the digital artist putting in less work than the physical artist because they can undo messy lines and use layers? How can we define effort in art? Can effort be correlated with the quality of an art piece? The final terrible argument against AI art and AI artists is that they're stealing jobs. My problem is that we live in a society where the little guy struggles and the big guy wins. Very curious, Bateman. Let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Joe Schmo on the street who uses DALL-E to create a meme for personal use isn't the problem to traditional artists losing work. In reality, the problems are more likely to come from businessmen and AI bros driving you out of business. Businessmen, guess what? They have more say than you when it comes to the legislation of copyright and are more likely to win in a systemic change of copyright to benefit AI. And guess what? AI bros are just looking to make a quick buck and simply wouldn't care that you aren't getting work. Before I dive into my arguments against AI art and AI artists, I want to say that there is no guarantee that you will come to the same conclusion as me. Big surprise. I also want to make it clear that I have done no research on any philosophical arguments regarding human creativity or AI art prior to this. So you are getting my pure, unfiltered thoughts. Plus, I think most arguments against AI art need to be directed at those who use it as artists. That being said, I believe my own arguments can be a good case against using or primarily using AI to create art. While thinking about this video and topic, I have come up with a concept I call the spirit of creativity. I would define the spirit of creativity as the innate ability that every person has to create new ideas, concepts, or in this case, art. Why am I bringing up the concept of the spirit of creativity? Because this idea is the crux of my arguments against AI artists. When I draw, I leave a little part of myself in everything I create, regardless of quality. This is only because I'm directly involved in the process of creating my art. Could you imagine a movie director trying to direct a film 500 miles away from the set? No way! That would be crazy. He needs to be there in person to see his vision come to life. Would his vision even be in the movie at that point? Or would the film's actual director be from the person he's relaying the instructions to? This is sort of my idea against AI artists, that the spirit of creativity is lost in translation. Now, you could argue this concept also applies to commissioning art, but personally I disagree. Much like the Vice movie director in the example before, the person commissioned is still using their spirit of creativity to create. The commissioner is just steering them closer to a vision. But if AI artists are busy steering their vision the entire time, are they even really artists? Everyone knows Da Vinci painted The Last Supper, and you might remember who commissioned it, but no one would call Ludovico Sforza the artist of The Last Supper. AI art might appear the same in concept, but because of its inherent computeriness, it lacks the spirit of creativity. Now hold on 1 minute, Whisp. If someone uses a reference to create art, then isn't it just taking something already created like AI art does? Good question. Personally, I think this is a valid argument. I would never know what a tree is if trees didn't exist. However, because of the spirit of creativity, we as humans can take inspiration from references, pour a little bit of ourselves in, and create something entirely new. However, someone who uses AI to create art is one step away from that primary point of creativity. They are blocked, meaning they never quite put themselves into their own work. I think most people can tell when someone really gives it their all and pours their soul into their work. If you look at a Miyazaki film, it feels alive. Even bad movies made earnestly are better than good movies made with no passion. When you use a pen to create a stroke, whether digitally or physically, the spirit of creativity is at the center. But when you delegate the action to be generated for you, you lose the spirit, and your art becomes soulless. While soulfulness is not quantifiable, I think it's something most everyone can feel, especially artists with art. Legal arguments can also be made against AI art on the basis of stealing. Is copying someone's style a form of plagiarism, though? Is the AI program to blame, or the programmers and AI generators? I have a feeling there are probably going to be a lot of legal arguments in the future regarding this specific topic. But for now, I think it's clear that if you are using someone else's art for profit, guess what? You're stealing. I really wish I could think of better moral arguments against AI art. I have found that the most effective arguments against AI artists are due to the lack of the spirit of creativity. Mess-ups, touch-ups, improper brushstrokes and using different materials. All of these downfalls might seem like a negative, but in reality, it can give traditional artists much more spirit. I don't think the future is super grim for traditional artists. I think there's a very real future for traditional artists where AI tools can help artists do their work while keeping the spirit of creativity alive. I found an article on the website Befores and Afters that talks about how Into and Across the Spider-Verse used an interpolation tool to help get all that crisp inking and line art features on the characters and the world. Spider-Verse would not look the way it does without the help of learning programs. I think this example is one of the best ones because it helps to keep artists as artists while using AI to help with your work. Perhaps there is a future where AI overtakes us as artists monetarily, but I doubt it can overtake us creatively because of the spirit of creativity cannot be quenched. I hope this video at least got you thinking about some alternative arguments against AI art and AI artists. It might be fun to point and laugh at AI-generated art now, but we can't just keep making fun of the art because one day it's going to improve to the point of probably being indistinguishable from traditional art. But don't worry, because you still have the spirit of creativity in you. Thanks for watching. This is something new I wanted to try, and if you liked it, do the normal YouTube things. I've also thrown the link to the befores and afters article on Spider-Verse in the description. And if you want to support me personally, I've attached a link to my Webtoon comment in the description as well. So go check out Tales of Grandeur there. I personally have a couple more video ideas that I would like to get out there, so you might see me back again soon. Or maybe not, because at the same time I want to draw the webcomic, so we'll see. Anywho, see you next time. Whisp out.